when you're out of material, you do start to repeat. The Warriors and where they're at right now. I don't want this to sound bad because I just think it's where they're at. I don't really think they have a direction right now. I don't think they have a direction. I think they've got different directions they could go in, and they're waiting for the best reason to go down one of those avenues. And what I mean by that, they're Paul George right now, they want to get him. I believe that. I believe they want to get Paul George, but on their terms. And if they can't get Paul George, you know what? Maybe they'll turn their attention to DeMar DeRozan. I don't know. Or maybe they'll say, you know what? Let's just extend Kuminga this year and we'll figure out maybe something with Chris Paul. I think there's things they want to do, but they're not in a position to determine what they want to do, and it only is up to them. And that's the one thing that I think is different with this year and even last year. They knew we have to sign Draymond Green. I thought it was the wrong decision. I still think it's the wrong decision. But last year, they clearly thought they were in a championship window, and they said we got to have. It was a direction they knew they were going down. We're re-signing Draymond Green. Clearly, there's a lot more questions this year, Goo, because we don't know. They really going to get Paul George? What's going to happen with Klay Thompson? What are they going to do with Chris Paul?
I'll say this, and there was no lie, and I felt that came from your heart. I'll give you this. What that just sounded like is what it is, Steiny. It's uncertainty. But that doesn't constitute, to me, directionless. The direction this team is going is to the finish line. It's the end of an era. It's coming. We don't know exactly when it's going to end, but that's the way this Warrior vessel, that's what's road it's on. And right now, to me, they're not hard or tough decisions. I feel like they've all agreed Steph Curry can still play at a high level. Draymond Green is still valuable. That's why we just gave him 4 years, $400. And we are going to try to microwave our way to get immediate impact from a player or players that we feel like can keep this thing going. Now, you can ask and stop and say, Goo, what do you mean keep it going? What do you mean by that? I mean by winning a round or two in the playoffs or pull a 2022 out of your hat, as highly unlikely as that might be. That, to me, is direction this team is going. I appreciate it, and they're not planning for the future. They're not ignoring it. They're not planning for the future because I don't think you can do your due diligence planning for the future knowing you still got icons like Steph and Dre that are in the middle. You can't do both. So that's why I think, Steiny, you're right with everything's on the table, but the direction is truly we're headed to the end of a dynasty.
Well, and that's where I would part ways with you. I'll agree with you that, like you just said it. Yeah, the odds of them running back, that's highly unlikely. So I'm more conservative than you. I'm not going down a road where the chances of it working are highly unlikely. That's what I'm not doing.
How do you avoid that?
Well, the Warriors might not think it's highly unlikely. I'm just saying I think it's highly unlikely. I think you do too. That's what you just said. And so, I'm not saying, well, it's highly unlikely, but we have to do it anyway. I don't like making decisions like that. But here's what I'm talking about, Goo. Mm-hmm. Just tell me what you think of this. Okay, Paul George. They want him. Okay, Monday we may find out they didn't get Paul George, or he's not a Warrior. I do believe, and I'm repeating a name on the Xfinity mobile text line. I think it's very possible that 3 days from now the Warriors have acquired DeJounte Murray. I think that's possible.
I would. Yeah.
Oh, the Golden State Warriors have acquired Kyle Kuzma. I think that's possible.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors have acquired Jarrett Allen. I think that's possible. I think all those things are possible, but they need to find the best one of all those.
Yeah.
And I think what they think is the worst case scenario is waiving Chris Paul and bringing Klay Thompson back and trying to move Wiggins at some point.
No doubt.
That's what I would think that's their least likely, or their, what's the word? Least appetizing of all those moves.
But you will admit, Steiny, and you kind of just said it, right now on their board, Paul George is the top. That's the top target.
According to Mark Stein.
Yeah. And according to the Warriors, they feel like that's where they want to go first. Because all those guys you just mentioned, Steiny, I love them all. Like, I wouldn't be mad, but good God, the Bay Area needs somebody to close a deal. The last deal that was closed, and it was a trade, and we didn't even know it was coming, so it kind of was delivered. It was McCaffrey, and that came out of nowhere. I'm talking about the Giants have the Bay.
Snell.
Well, but were we all lobbying for Chad? We weren't. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm talking about the prom.
Right, that's what I mean. But the Warriors, if they strike out on Paul George, they're going to go sign Blake Snell and Matt Chapman in a way.
Okay, gotcha.
Obviously not those literal guys, but
no, I thought you meant you landed it, but I hear you.
No, it's like we didn't get Judge, we didn't get this guy, we didn't get that guy. Okay,
all those guys you named make the team better. So now you got me feeling a little better about.
Who do you give up for him though? You can't just drop him on your roster.
Now you're going to laugh. I would give up Kuminga for Kyle Kuzma. Dude is a baller, man. I'm sorry. He is Carmelo Anthony. You get him in the right system, Steiny. He can do some stuff. I'm just telling you, I would give up Kuminga for Kyle Kuzma to play alongside Draymond Green and Steph Curry and Steve Kerr, and his IQ goes through the roof if you think it's low. I know basketball. I'm just telling you, Kyle Kuzma can get buckets in the league. He don't need a screen every damn time. He's got post game. He can hit the three. I like Kyle Kuzma.
For Kuminga?
I would do it. I wonder how many people would do. Hey, Evan, would you do it? And you could say, hey, that's one. How many people would call and say, see, that's what's wrong with us, man. We label guys on how they dress, their Twitter game. Did they get caught with a stripper? And that's what we judge them on. We forget what they're known for. All I'm telling you, partner, is I think Kyle Kuzma is a baller, and I think he's in his prime, but we forget about him because he's in Washington. He's an afterthought, and we look at him as the blame of what ails Washington. Man, I'm just telling you, if you could get him in a Warrior uniform, I would be ecstatic.
I think you're on an island there. I'd be surprised if very many people agree with you on that particular one.
Uncle Ludi said, "Goo, you lost me with Melo as your selling point." Yeah, like, see, people disrespect Melo. Kyle Kuzma's good, Steiny.
To call Kyle Kuzma Carmelo Anthony is disrespectful to Carmelo Anthony, I think.
You know what, Evan? And I'm looking at, I pictured Melo right next to me. I think it's just a compliment to that's the comp I go to for his offensive game.
Antoine Jameson, maybe.
I just want to let the listeners know, for the record, I'm not trading Kuminga for Kyle Kuzma. In fact, I'm laughing them out of the building. And it's not necessarily because I hate Kuzma and I love Kuminga, but I don't like Kuzma, and I like Kuminga enough.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
I think it's time for.
I think you could get more if you include Kuminga in a trade, than Kyle Kuzma.
I'm sorry. Why
would you be sorry?
That's a pretty funny line.
How many points you think he averaged last year?
I don't care. I swear to God, I could care less.
22.
I was going to say over under the amount of wins.
22, 6, and 4.
Did they win 22 games?
I would say not.
It's like Barkley says, somebody's got to score on a terrible team.
How old do you think he is?
27.
28. Well.
Listen.
I said what I said.
It's a Friday. Yeah. We're all in a good mood. Why don't we just officially give him a chance to take it back?
Well,
Evan said what I was really meaning.
If he wants,
Here we go.
No. I was going to ask, would Bruce Brown do anything for you guys? Because the Toronto Raptors just picked up his team option
I
for
think
$23
Denver missed
million.
him.
Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah, sure.
I like him. Evan,
Well,
I
it
said
seems like he's a trade chip for him as an expiring. So
Yeah, like I sight unseen, I would take
coming
him
off
over
the bench,
Kuzma.
I would be, oh my gosh.
He start on this team.
Wow.
He'll lock up Andrew
Would you take
Wiggins
him
at
or
practice.
GP2?
Who?
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah. GP3.
Yeah, I think it's time for ask me.
Uncle Looney said it best. Kuzma's skilled goo, but he doesn't play great team ball because he's never had to.
I think he stinks.
Oh, as a player?
He's pretty bad.
Oh, I'll ask Willard and Dibbs when they come in.
I mean, he's fine, but I don't.
Yeah, I appreciate you
do
saying
not
that.
think he makes the Warriors better.
Oh,
Kyle
man.
Kuzma.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
Yeah, he could get you 18 to 25 a night, Steiny.
That's not what they need.
Huh?
They need guys who can do other things. They need a passer. They need a rebounder. They need a defender.
Paul George does all that.
Okay. Well, if you think so. Some people think Paul George's defense is not very good anymore.
Have you seen that? Oh, Steiny, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Put him on Jamal Murray? Put him on, I mean, man, I like PG-13, man.
Did he make an all defensive team this year? I don't know. I'm serious.
I'm done looking after I made the air with our guy yesterday.
he took down the Warriors. Remember in LA when they had that 24-point comeback?
That
Paul
he
George
did.
hit the three to put him up.
So did Keon Ellis.
Yeah.
He picked Wiggins and Curry. Oh, boy, I'm just picturing it.
Just a couple.
Good God. What are you smiling at?
Yeah, it's just, I love our listeners, and so do you. So
Guru
do
on
you.
the clutch peels.
Guru, look down and tie your shoelaces. You're tripping.
That's a three.
707, I'm out. 925, Guru, got some swampland to sell you too. Guru tripping.
Wow.
I think that's one of the worst takes you've ever had, Goo. That's our guy, Chris.
And
A.
I look at my
Chris
phone,
A. in
Squirt's
Oakland.
text. I can't read it. Squirt, he sent me a text. I don't think he's happy. I just like Kuzma.
I saw this earlier. I apologize for
It's
not citing my
fine.
source. Clutch Sports or Crutch Sports?
That's, boy,
It's not bad.
that's a 4.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Kuzma.
I'm looking at this
Size
stuff.
matters.
Big dude, man.
What is he, 6'8"?
9.
Oh, that's a big inch.
Yep. 220.
I mean, here's all I'm saying. I'm just not giving up. Like, I don't know what Kuminga is, but I think he could do better than
Would you
Kuzma.
trade? Okay, here we go. Would you trade Wiggins for Kuzma? Hell yes. Now look at
You know what? You know what? I rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, see, now,
if you win,
now you're disrespecting him, Steiny. He's going to bring it
Disrespecting
every
who?
day or try to bring it.
I'm not making a trade for Kyle Kuzma until you can look in his eyes like you did with Wiggins and tell me what
I
kind
thought I
of
saw
player he
something,
is.
man. People won't let that go, man.
Would I trade Kuzma for Wiggins?
Oh, come on.
That's one of those.
You really think it's rock,
Whatever.
paper, scissors?
Whatever. I'll shoot you odds or evens. Odds, I'll trade
Wow,
him.
man.
Evens, I won't.
But that's what Washington has done for guys like Kyle Kuzma. Like, you guys are laughing at him.
Enrique Rivera says, Steiny, Kuzma could give me fashion pointers. Is he swagged out? Now we're getting...
No.
Oh, is that what we're talking?
He does too much on this. I won't even go there for me. I don't know what
Okay.
these guys are doing nowadays,
Actually,
but I'm out on the. Don't even bring it up to me. I just look past it.
Well, actually, hold on a second here.
I
So
go back
we-
to the Jordan Kobe model, 3-piece suits and Stacey Adams. I don't know what they're wearing now.
So you...
Tablecloths, they come in.
Okay, so I'm on record on this show saying just give me action, any kind of action.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? Let's do Kuzma for Wiggins. You know why? Because Wiggins is a snore. Get Kuzma in here. Let me see how he dresses.
that.
Let me
Oh,
see.
no.
Let me see how nuts he is. Why not?
You're changing on the fly.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But Bruce Brown in a Warrior uniform, Evan, I would take that, man. They need guys like that.
Who?
Man. Bruce Brown.
Who needs him?
The Warriors. And I said to you, and you laugh, why is Denver saying bye-bye? Not that's why they lost
money.
him.
They couldn't afford him.
Oh.
I mean, you think they don't want to have? You think they wanted to lose? They want to lose Kentavious Caldwell-Pope?
Well,
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, and we've been used to Joe Lacob just blowing through money. He's not blowing through money anymore. He can't.
Wow.
The latest, by the way, on Paul George is from Brian Windhorst of ESPN. The Clippers are reportedly still not offering Paul George the max contract.
Oh my God.
And, quote, the Clippers are not acting like they're desperate to keep him.
Wow, Ballmer. Man.
See, if Steve Ballmer, it's not the money. If Steve Ballmer can go into the second apron and he will never feel it in a million years.
Okay.
The problem with the second apron is it hamstrings what you can do strategically and through the collective bargaining agreement. If you are in the second apron, there are things that you cannot do that put you at a competitive disadvantage when it comes to making moves. So, like,
I hear you, Steiny.
Ballmer doesn't want to be in the second apron because he doesn't have the money. He doesn't want to be in the second apron because it really confines, in a way, what you can do moving forward. It's why Joe Lacob doesn't want to be in it either.
Okay, one thing about Ballmer, Steiny, Evan, anybody that will listen, I love his energy. I know he wants to win. If you're really going to say bye-bye to Paul George after you extended Kawhi for what was it, 150 around there? Like, why would you give Kawhi when he showed you at the most important time he might break down and he just did it? Why would you do that for that player and say night-night?
You'd rather have Paul George than Kawhi?
My God, just because I love Kawhi.
I wouldn't.
2 out of the last 3 playoffs, he's gotten hurt.
And 4 out of the last 5 years, Paul George has been hurt.
There's a difference to Steiny. He gets hurt like in the playoff, dribbling. Like he cost them the Utah series a couple years ago when they had action. Then this year, out of nowhere. But you extended that, and then you're going to say night-night to Paul George?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Why?
Let me ask you a question. Yeah. If Lawrence Frank, who runs the Clippers, says, you know what, forget all this Paul George, Warriors. Let's do something with Kawhi Leonard instead. We want to re-sign Paul George and get off Kawhi's contract. I think the Warriors would want Kawhi more. Oh, my God, yes.
But that's when I would turn into you about the injury history. Well, and it happens at the end of the year with Kawhi.
I see no difference between Kawhi and Paul George.
Oh, my gosh.
In terms of
Paul finished the playoff series.
So
he did it 2 of the last 3 years.
Okay.
Everybody gets hurt during the season, but when you're all excited and then you get blue balls because Kawhi gets hurt and you don't know what it is, that is draining. Ask Tyronn Lue. And they extended him.
But you did the exact same thing, and maybe I do it. You did the exact same thing with Chris Paul, and he was healthy at the end of the year. He could have played in the playoffs.
Well, there was no playoffs.
But he missed regular season games.
But this is Kawhi's track record. I love him when he plays down, and I thought the Clippers had action. I mean, my gosh, how many times do you have to get your heart broken?
When has Paul George sealed your heart with?
He's finished the season, Steiny. That's like that means something, Paul. We can't ignore Kawhi when the Clippers had action in the playoffs gets hurt. Like that's catastrophic to me. And it keeps happening, and you extend them 3 for 152. Why, Ballmer? You picked the wrong dude.
No, the Warriors might be picking the wrong dude. Like, you got to stop and think that maybe the Clippers, who've had these players for 2 or 3 years, think Kawhi's better. That's why they offered him the deal and not Paul George. I mean...
Now, better is, I'll give you Kawhi, but Steiny, healthier. What more do we need to see from Kawhi? And this last one was heartbreaking.
Well, Nets are in a fire sale.
Who?
Nets?
The Nets.
Well, sorry. You missed your opportunity with the Nets.
Ben Simmons.
I actually.
Look at the guy, boy.
You know what? I tell you what.
I saw something that he retired. It was a meme. I got duped again, Daryl Duper. But I thought he had really retired. Nobody's talking about him either. I broke my back.
I absolutely think it's within the realm of possibility.
Plan F?
Hey.
That would be Plan Z, not Gen Z, Plan Z.
I'm just...
Could you get Cam Johnson from the Nets?
You know what I can't stand, though? Here's what I can't stand.
I can't get over Kawhi.
Everybody under the sun. Steiny, he comes to the Warriors. That'll be the easiest basketball. Zach LaVine, easiest basketball.
I mean
Paul George. What about for Ben Simmons? Wouldn't it be in theory, wouldn't it be the easiest basketball Ben Simmons?
I like that. But the thing with him, Steiny, is we really know he doesn't love the game. I think he's been faking it.
Well, maybe.
What about Cam Johnson on the Nets? You like Cam Johnson?
But the Warriors' culture, they could turn Ben Simmons.
Look what he did to Durant. Made him a champ.
They didn't change Kevin Durant.
He just had big brother.
They didn't Kevin Durant helped make the Warriors champions, just like the Warriors helped make Kevin Durant.
But they took some mental stuff off of his plate. Remember the CYO pass when he was on OKC? And they had to melt down.
Kevin Durant could have been under mental duress every single day for 3 years with the Warriors, and they still would have won 2 titles.
I heard that somewhere.
And you know what?
They said the Warriors could have won chips at 81 for playing at 81%.
And let's not bury the lead. Durant thought the culture was a joke. He thought the culture was a joke.
I asked him, does he regret leaving?
I bet he doesn't.
Oh, Steiny, stop. He didn't been on 100 super teams, just got swept.
But none of those.
I don't need you to add.
None of those teams had Draymond Green. He don't want to play here, and a lot of players probably don't want to because of Draymond Green.
I ain't going to fight you on that.
Let's start talking honestly about what we got here in Golden State. You know what? You want to... Guys want to play with
a dynasty.
The guys want to play. Not anymore. We don't. The guys want to play with Steph. Oh, you betcha. Unfortunately, that other guy comes with him.
Hey, we'll find out if PG comes to the yay. Come on, Paul George. If that
You're
Wendy
such a beggar. Oh my God.
Who's you been talking to? I used to beg.
Can somebody name one player that Goo wouldn't be in on?
Ben Simmons.
Okay. One other one. Chris Paul II.
Sabonis, Sack. I'm out.
Call me crazy.
Oh, boy.
Stop.
But look, that's my point. Stop. The Warriors are not getting a perfect star. They cannot get a perfect star. So, I mean, do I not like Sabonis? I don't like Sabonis. How old is he?
I'm guessing
mid-20s.
Yeah,
but you know what? You know what, Evan? The more I think about it, though, Sabonis, it would be the easiest basketball he's ever played. Dude, you know what? I want a guy to play the hardest basketball he's ever played.
And Herter, I don't like him for Sack. I don't like him.
Change of scenery.
Yep.
I'll tell you what. I would give up. What's Sabonis making?
A lot.
Like 40? Okay, let's see if we can get Sabonis for Looney, Gary Payton II, Moody, and Guy Santos. Could we get Sabonis for those 4? I'm in.
He's on the hook for, oh boy.
What is he getting?
46.5 over the next 4 years.
That's almost Curry-like.
Well, he might be as impactful right now as Curry.
I'm going to give you a 1. It doesn't even register.
What?
Well, they did beat us. You don't mean
I know.
that.
See, the truth can be very harsh. It can be very, very harsh.